Okay, Be'ezrat Hashem, we start with Pasuk Zain. Kol Ahirash Sene'eu. All the brothers of the poor, they end up hating him. Av ki mere'ehu rachaku mimenu. Even his friends, Kol Sheken, Kal Vachomer, his friends, left him and went away from him. Meradef Amarim lo hema. And the one that runs after words, empty words, are his own. Now, this is a continuation of Pasuk Vav that we learned, that the Rash is who is the poor. We're talking about the poor of Torah. So, et Arash Sonim, afilu have the poor in Torah, his brothers, and we'll see what that means. Even them, his brothers, yes, hate him. Ve're'av and his friends, kol sheken, more so. They get away from here. And he's at the end, he has nothing to do. He's left alone. Meradef amarim lo hema. So if you look at the word lo hema, the word lo, okay, there's a difference. Yes, in the kra and the ktiv. Yes, it is written lo with aleph, but read lo with a vav. So meradef amarim lo hema. So he says he's left with what? With running after words that lo hema, that are empty, that have nothing in it. Milashon lo lamed aleph. Lo hema. There's no hema. There's no hem. There's no substance. There's no outcome. Meaning he's living emptiness and he's running after words, after nonsense that have no tachlit to it. Devarim betelim, says the Gra. C'est Kohelet.
Gracias, Él escribió el libro. He wrote the book.
Thank you very much. תודה רבה.
Yeah, בשמחה. Here, look.
טוב.
Bueno,
Yeah.
vamos a
הנה.
So, explains the Gaon as follows. The brother of the Rash, of the poor, are the Averot the person does in the Olam Hazeh. The poor is considered poor because he doesn't have Torah, and he doesn't have more positive than negative. Right? Who is a poor? Poor is in the negative, the guy that's in the negative. So the Rash is the one that doesn't have any enough Torah mitzvot, and he has more Averot. So says Shlomo HaMelech, the Averot that a person did in this world, they are his enemies. They are the one that hate him. Why? Because those Averot end up punishing and making him suffer in Olam Haba. Yeah, there's a price to pay in Olam Haba for all these Averot. And even the Mereu, his friends, who are his friends? The Mitzvot. Yes? They go away from him. What does that mean, they go away from him? They are pushed aside because of the Averot. Meaning the Averot do not allow the Mitzvot come close to the person to benefit him and save him from these Averot. So he's under the affliction of pain of the Averot, and the Mitzvot don't have the power to override that. And says the Gaon, there's a klal. When do you benefit from the mitzvot? After you paid for the averot. Right? This is where the neshama goes in Shamayim, and go through a cleansing process for about 11 months. And only then does the neshama benefit from the mitzvot. Yes.
Didn't we study that there's no compensation? Here you are telling that you compensate.
No, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that before you benefit from the outcome of the mitzvot, yes, you have to first pay the debt.
Okay.
And the debt is the averot. So says the Gaon, there's a klal, there's a rule. Lo yitra'u la'adam ela, because the mitzvot are not given to men until the averot are taken care of. And as long as there are averot, the mitzvot do not come. Yes? The benefit of the mitzvot are not felt. And that's what it means. Kol achera san'ehu, av ki mere'ehu, rahaku mimenu. Is mere'ehu, right, are far from him. Meaning that as long as there are averot, and there's a very deep lesson here, but as long as there are averot, the person is not exposed to the mitzvot. Now keep in mind, we're talking about the Rash. We're talking about someone that is in the negative already. Okay? Because he's not a Benoni and he's not a tzaddik. Right? If you have more mitzvot than averot, then you're a tzaddik. Merza or merza, Benoni. Rash is the one that has much more averot than mitzvot. And Meradef Amarim lo hema. Now the Gaon is explaining the pirush of lo, not with an aleph, but with a lavav. The second pirush. He says the one, Meradef Amarim, the one that runs after Devarim Betelim, the one that runs after futilities, lo hema, they become his, meaning the futility becomes his life. In which way? That in Olam Emet, right? He goes to Kafakela. What is Kafakela? Kafakela, we said, no peace, constant movement, constant flow, constant, yes, there's never menuha. This is exactly what Devarim Betelim is. Devarim Betelim is to keep you busy without getting to anything concrete. So the person gets busy, he does, he just from one thing to another, but at the end there's no tachlis. That's what kafakela is. The neshama goes, yes, and it never finds a place, a makom of menuha. Comes the Gaon and in this pasuk of Shlomo Melech and tells us something very interesting. Based on what? On the projection of the behavior of the Rash, yes, in the Olam HaEmet, a person can also learn of his own behavior in Olam Hazeh. Dehainu. As long as the person is busy with Averot, he doesn't expose himself to be able to do mitzvot. He is so busy doing Averot that the opportunity to do mitzvot become further and further and further. Like Chachamim said, Im avtaftani yom, yomayim azveka. The Torah says, if you leave me one day, I will leave you 2 days. So that means that now the person is far away from the Torah if after 1 day, distance of 3 days. If you leave me for 1 day, I'm going to leave you for 2 days. That means that after one day, how far are you from the Torah? 3 days. Your day plus the 2 days of the day. So every avera that a person does, yes, he pushes himself away 3 times more. Okay? So says the Gaon, comme Shlomo HaMelech, and tells us that in these situations, yes, the person, the more he fails to do a mitzvah, and the less of an opportunity to do a mitzvah he has. So it's not only that because there's averot in Olam Haba, therefore he doesn't benefit from the reward of the mitzvot. The fact that the person does averot in this world, he has less opportunity to do mitzvot. The Yetzer Hara, is very smart because by making a person do an avera, now he has the ability to confuse him and to do no gore mitzvah avera gore mitzvah gore mitzvah avera gore avera, right? So he becomes now a layer of distraction that gets thicker and thicker by the day, and creates an opaque buffer that does not allow the or of Torah, the or of mitzvot, to shine on the neshama. Then what happens to the person? That's the end of the pasuk. Meradef amarim lo hema, with the lo with the vav. The person, yes, that is becoming now exposed to devarim betelim. He floats, doing things that have no purpose, involved in things that have no meanings. And lo hema, they become his own interest. They become his own reality. That's nidon bekafakela. The punishment of kafakela in this world is that he never rests. He's always attracted by another opportunity, another reason, another day. He goes, jumps from one situation to another, to another, to another, to another, never resting, but also never reaching a consistent goal, never reaching a tachlit. And this is the biggest problem that the person is exposed to, because he thinks he's getting somewhere, but in reality he's getting nowhere. And why is that? Because he doesn't see the batala in his amarim. He doesn't see. He cannot see far till the end to recognize that his efforts are in vain, that he's wasting his time. So when he's getting engaged into something, he thinks he's going to get somewhere. So what's really the problem? That he doesn't have the optics and the vision to see the end and to see the reality of the situation, of the opportunity, right? That is the impact of the avera. The avera clusters and clogs the vision of a person to the point where he can no longer see if there is positive or negative outcome or no outcome at all of his efforts. This is kafakela. This is the biggest curse. When you think you're busy doing something productive and in reality you're just grinding water. And this is the outcome of the averot that block the clarity of the or of Torah and mitzvot to shine on the neshama of the person. So essentially, what is the Gaon coming to teach us? That your actions, your behira of doing mitzvot or averot will determine whether or not you have clarity in your life and the ability to make the right decisions. So that's the midah keneged midah. You do an avera and you have less clarity now to do a mitzvah. So you are more exposed to an avera than to a mitzvah. That's the midah keneged midah of the actions. So that's what the Shlomo HaMelech says. Yes, that now you are hated. What does that mean? You are hated. You've created an ecosystem of averot, and now even the sachar that you should have or the mitzvot that you would be exposed to are no longer at your reach or easy to reach. But that you can reach if you break the system, if you break yourself. Yes, but naturally they will be further and further away from you, which leads the person now to less clarity, which makes the person now make the wrong choices and think that he's doing things that are productive when in reality there is no outcome, which is worse than a bad outcome. Because if you get to a bad outcome, you will realize that you did something bad and you can, change. When you think there's an outcome but there's really no outcome, that's when you're completely lost. This is the worst possible case, right? Kavakela is worse than Geinam. The person goes to Geinam, he cleans himself, and he goes to Gan Eden. This is the hashpa'ah of the averot, now obviously on a rash. We have to keep in mind that we're talking about somebody, yes, that's more averot than mitzvot. This is why it is so important to always, yes, to keep the mitzvot going, because we never know in which category we belong. Reshaim, Benonim, or Tzadikim, we never know. Yeah. So that's what Chachamim tell us, that we should always look at ourselves like merza or merza, that we're in the middle. Yes? And if we do Avera or Mitzvah right now, that will determine if I fall into the category of a Rash or I save myself and I fall in the category of a Tzaddik. It's a very deep musar, what Chachamim teach us. Any questions on that pasuk?
No one knows, or Talmidei Chachamim that are wise, they know they are not rash.
Even if a Talmid Chacham knows that he's not a Rash, I don't think he will think that he's a tzaddik. Because it's not enough to do cheshbon nefesh. We also don't know the value of each action. You understand? Compared to another, like we don't know the value of one word of lashon hara compared to 10 years of anachat tefillin. We don't know. Pasuk chet. So it's one more pasuk. So, קונה לב אוהב נפשו. Whoever acquires a heart loves his soul, loves himself. Shomer tevuna, and whoever preserves tevuna, understanding, limso tov, he finds tov, he finds happiness, good, he finds the good. Says the Gaon like this: whoever makes a kinyan of a lev tov, which we've discussed in the past, what lev tov is, right? really he loves himself, meaning he cares for himself, because he knows the benefit he gains from having a left tov. He knows that's the right thing, so he has compassion and love for his neshama. Beshomer tevuna, and whoever wants, and the person that wants to have tevuna, to have bina in him, right? So liמצוא tov, הכוונה, he should look for tov. What is tov? He should look to do tov. These are maasim tovim and mitzvot. When a person does mitzvot to maasim tovim, that helps him develop retaining of understanding. The actions, says, and Rabbi David Elaouf explained, Yizacher Letov, that the more you do maasim tovim, and the more you develop midot tovot, and right, because that you do maasim tovim, so you develop midot tovot, and the more you have now the ability to understand life better, because your midot are more aligned with emet. And that what brings a person to a left tov. And like what the Gaon says, this is what Chachamim say, Yirat Hashem, Reshit Da'at. You want to have Yirat Hashem, the beginning is what is Da'at. So the Ramam explains this. We have Lev, which is Lev Netivot HaChochma, which is Chochma. Then we have Shomer Tevuna, which is the Bina. And Tov, what is called Tov? The Da'at. That's what if we recall, a few psukim we call the Da'at. So here Shlomo HaMelech tells us this is the fusion of Chochma, Bina, and Da'at. How do you have access to the Chochma? Yes, by retaining the Da'at, by developing the Da'at. That's right. The more Da'at, the more Bina you have, and the more the ability you have to process the Da'at, the Chochma, right? But how do you get to the Tevuna? Through the Metziat HaTov, through the Da'at. Right? Look at what this is reverse engineering. Until now, or what we always look at the Chokhmah, Bina, and Da'at. You need Chokhmah, the Chokhmah now fuels the Bina, and that the Bina gives life to Da'at. But comes Shlomo HaMelech, says the Gaon, and how do you go back up to the Chokhmah? Do mitzvot u'ma'asim tovim. Okay? Good deeds. Good deeds sharpens, which has the midot tovot, will sharpen your da'at, give you ability to do that, to have access to your da'at. That's the whole book of Pirkei Kinyan HaDa'at. Now, when you have access to the da'at, which is the application of the practical application of the chokhmah that is processed by the bina, that's da'at. Now that you have da'at, you can have better understanding, which is the bina of what? Of the chokhmah. This is how we have a full circle. The action, yes, sharpens the da'at, which makes you understand bina better, which gives you stronger ability of discernment. And once you have a stronger discernment, you have better access to the chokhmah, because now you're thirsty for the chokhmah, because you want to be able to discern knowledge. You need content. So Hashem fuels chokhmah. The chokhmah gives life to the bina. Bina gives life to the da'at. Da'at is the practical assessment, right, of the chokhmah and the bina, which leads to actions. But how do you get there in the first place? Yes, how do you have this channel work? By turning on from below. You have to turn on yourself. Shuva elai ve'ashuva alechem. You do the act. You start the process, and then I continue the process. To start the process is through mitzvot u'ma'asim tovim. When people don't understand, why do I need to do mitzvot u'ma'asim tovim? I don't understand what I'm asking, what I'm doing. Yes, no, the opposite, because that's how you're gonna open yourself to the da'at, the bina, and the chokhmah.
Beautiful. I heard the other day that in Bereshit, when it says Hashem Tov Meod, Tov is Yetzera Tov, and Meod is
Me'od yetzer hara.
and here Tov is Masim Tovim,
Yes,
on that.
nachon.
So can I say that the Yetzerara, with that, you are going to fight the Yetzerara?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is the
That's
only
exactly it.
weapon.
Why is the me'od yetzer hara? Because when you want more, when you want to go, me'od is a lot. When you want a lot, the tov is no longer tov. So now you've lost your connection to the tov, and you're focusing on the me'od. When you're focusing on the me'od, at that point there's no more tov. That's the yetzer hara. You understand?
No. If you want more of good, why you lose the good?
Ah, very good.
Tov Meod, no Ra Meod.
Mitsuyan. But nachon. But there is, if you have, if the tov is not enough, and you want the me'od, then you don't focus on the tov anymore. You can grow your tov as much as you want. That's good. But when the tov is no longer tov, and you need the me'od, so you've at that point, it's like somebody that has 90% everything great. All he focuses on the 10% that's not great. So that 10% will destroy the 90%. Tov.
Spectacular.
Ezrat Hashem. We just
Miss you.
Pasuk Zayin and Chet.
Baruch Hashem.
Thank you.
Besimcha. It's a very, very, very deep concept, this Pasuk Zayin. And I suggest, if you have a moment, listen to the shiur I gave today on Shmone Prakim LaRambam.
Okay.
Because there is a parallelism that complements very, very nicely this gra. It's just incredible how HaKadosh Baruch Hu lines the Torah.
Which number is today?
I think 17.
17. Oh, I lost a lot. Spectacular. Okay.
Tov.
Top
It's
17.
בהצלחה.
Thank you.
בהצלחה.